So, I am your host Verda, and we'll be talking about something that we see every day: coffee shops, small businesses, and workshops. We have our amazing guest Tariq with us. Hi Tariq, it's really nice to meet you.
Assalamualaikum, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you? How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's great to be back in LSC. It's been a very, very long time since I've come here. A lot has changed. I see a studio space. That's pretty interesting. So, yeah,
So I would like you to tell our audience about yourself, like what you do.
So my name is Tariq. I managed a coffee shop. I was a brand manager for Wabi for about 2.5 years, and for the past 3.5 years, I've been looking at Mashkare. It's a bespoke creative community studio.
Yeah, I know about that. It's actually very interesting. So let's start our topic. So we're gonna discuss about coffee shops. So yeah, exactly. I love coffee shops too, and especially when they're like trying to give a platform to small businesses and they like include their workshops in them.
Yeah.
So let's start with a very simple question. How would you describe the trend of coffee shops turning into workshops?
Okay. So the way I see things, I feel like with coffee shops incorporating very sort of community, creative elements into play as well. I've noticed, especially in Lahore specifically. Now, I think the Karachi cafe coffee space is pretty mature, but in Lahore specifically, it's a pretty young industry. In fact, like about 4 or 5 years ago, back with Bobby, when we started off, we tried to create a very sort of niche, bespoke, we do things differently, Wali approach. And it was fantastic. But the thing is, at this point in time, the market is becoming very, very saturated. And so what I'm seeing is every cafe wants to become the spot, like the cool, interesting kids community space. Which is why they're trying to incorporate more and more sort of workshop elements into play. To act as if every week or every time you come to the place, something's always happening.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot in like different coffee shops like weekly, and I think like this is trending a lot in like different coffee shops, especially in Lahore. Like, what are your views? Like, do you really think that it's trending and like the trend is like moving forward, or is it going to decline at any time soon?
So the thing is, what I see happening, to be very honest with you, is so back at Bobby, right? We would do all of this in-house. We are our own internal teams. We manage everything ourselves. Every single week or so, we try to incorporate a koi na koi interesting cheez holi. We'd have like a Halloween where we're having an event, then we're having a book club, then we're having a activation around cycling, random stuff, and that was all being managed internally in-house. And to be very honest with you, that I don't see as a super sustainable model. So I remember one of the activities we did was a Too Cool for School, like a skate kids activation. We brought the skate community to DHA, event karate, all that stuff. And we sponsored Mashkale. Back when I was at Bobby, we sponsored Mashkale for the activity. And that did really, really well because that was a headache off of my head as a cafe manager onto Mashkale's head. That आप लोग manage करो, मैं बस oversee करूँगा. And since then, I'm looking at this side of the puzzle. Earlier I was on this side, now on this side. And what I'm noticing is that every now and then, even literally yesterday as well, I'll come with another cafe opening up. Yeah, hey, what's up? We see you working with third culture, big different cafes. Can you come to our space for us and give and get there? The trend I see is that more and more coffee shops are going to keep opening up. In fact, I know at least 4 LSE alumni who opened their own cafe shops. But it's going to be that much more harder, especially overheads wise, to manage and create your own in-house events every other week. So what I see happening is I see more spaces like Mashkale opening up with a more sort of sustainable model to partner up with coffee shops, maybe on a retainer model, stuff like that, to actually organize these events for these cafes. And that's going to be kind of the space moving forward where, these collaborations will be the only way for cafes to scale that aesthetic and community nature.
Yeah, I do feel like this is like very engaging, and I want to discuss like do you think like workshops help coffee shops have like loyal customers and it influence that more?
So I'll give you an example. The other day at Mashkale, was a friend of mine, and they were a couple, and they've been together for about 8 years now. And they reached out to me a while ago, hey, I want to propose at Mashkale. And that sense of Mashkale belonging was so strong because they didn't meet at Mashkale, but their bond really grew at Mashkale, and they're really good memories at Mashkale. And because of the activities that we did, they were able to share a lot of interesting bonds at Mashkale, really interesting memories at Mashkale, and they wanted to commemorate that at Mashkale also. Again, a creative community studio space. So the idea is I see this becoming a great space for people and consumers to want to interact with the business and stay loyal, because these small niche activities are a great breeding ground for memories. People come, they have a stupid moment, they're like, yeah, I love this place. I had a great time.
Actually, I do agree because I myself have attended such workshops and I do love them. So, what about you? Have you ever participated in workshops?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, I think in the past 4 to 5 years, I've been able to participate / manage over 25 to 30 different workshops, because we're always experimenting, we're always trying new things, from like woodworking to, I don't know, pottery or whatever.
I want to know about your favorite workshop.
My favorite workshop?
The one that you actually loved and you were interested in.
So we recently experimented with making our own custom bespoke perfumes. It's a very, very interesting niche space. In fact, one of the people who's been making the perfumes and managing all the fragrances for all the top brands locally, Outfitters, Cardi, all that stuff. I know the guy.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, that dude is an LSE alumni, so interestingly doing really well. And so I think that workshop we invented that into a workshop model, and that's been one of my favorite ones, honestly.
Okay, so from perfumes, I would like to talk about small businesses.
Okay.
So, do you think coffee shops give platforms to small businesses? What are your reviews on that? Is it great?
So when I go to Third Culture, or when I go to Baked, or when I go to even other coffee shops there's 2 new coffee shops that opened up in Phase 4. I forgot the name. I think Craft Kit type hai, or it called BM. And the other one I saw, and at Third Culture and Baked, I see them giving platform to smaller businesses, like different businesses, there's a Kashmiri chai making group of aunties, and they make their own Kashmiri chai, and they place their chai at these places.
Are they selling?
They're selling it.
Oh, okay.
And the idea is, and for other stuff as well, I'd see Third Culture pe now you can buy crochet flowers and
Exactly, I've seen a lot of places that are selling crochet.
So I think since coffee shops, the cafe culture in Pakistan itself is growing so much that it's a great space for businesses or other parties, or even not even just businesses, small people who want to try out, I want to experiment with this space. I make straws, I make handmade metal straws, whatever. Let me try, experimenting with the customer base, see what the market's like. And coffee shops become a great place to test and trial out the situation in. So I think definitely with cafe culture really expanding in Pakistan, in Lahore especially, it's a great place for young, new, upcoming businesses to just test and trial with the market, see what's up.
Okay, so what about you? If you start a small business, would you like to put it on a coffee shop?
So I think, in fact, before I even start a business, my first approach would be to test and trial at a place like this. See what the consumer is like. Let's say I like making pins, and I want to make custom pins that get magnetic or whatever. I want to test trial that somewhere. I'd maybe start working and collaborating with coffee shops. Maybe have some fun activations with customers. I go there. In fact, I went to it was Third Touch in Phase 4, where a friend of mine I just met that day, who was just about to launch his candle business. And he was like, I talked to Third Culture. I was like, yeah, boys, I want to see what situation, the market mein kya cheez aa rahi hai. He would just go there the whole week, every single day, with his products, and he would just sort of talk to people. And the thing is, talking to people is such an underrated business insight to have, because that will give you so much more information, because you have a direct customer to understand what situation.
So I feel like we should have a rapid fire round. So do people come more for learning or experience?
Definitely experience. Definitely experience. You don't want to get people so we have some classes that are very focused. We have a class where we do woodworking, and the entire class we literally make a stool from scratch with lakdi. And in that class I've noticed, and I also propagate that idea that this is a very, you need to be very patient with this class. Because आपने लकड़ी पकड़ी, पत्थर की लकड़ी है, आपने फिर उसको नापा, फिर आपने उसको काटा, सॉ से काटा, फिर आपने उसको हथौड़ी से ड्रिल किया, फिर आपने एक्चुअल ड्रिल से उसके, it's a very labor intensive class, फिर आपने उसको सैंड किया, and the thing is, people want to come, they want to feel like they're learning, but the experience always matters more. The experience around the whole activity, the experience of interacting with the workshop, and what you take with you really matters. So they want to come, they want to learn, but more than that, the experience really matters. If I make a workshop that's really built around learning, they don't want to go back to school. They want to come and have a good time. So the experience always comes first.
Well, next question, but we need to keep in mind it's a rapid fire.
Okay, sorry, I apologize.
So how do cafe benefits from this model, platform?
Customer footprint.
Okay. So last question. Sorry, second last. What's the most unique workshop you've ever been?
The most unique workshop
Yeah,
I've ever
as a
been.
person, not like arrangement, but like you've ever been to workshop.
Journal making.
Journal making. So
Yeah.
last question. Are these workshops profitable?
Yes and no. It's a challenging question to answer. Yes and no. At times they will not be profitable for you. At times they will be profitable for you. You have to look at the long game.
Okay. So coming towards the end, so what is the advice you want to give people like who are going for small businesses or workshops?
Okay. If you want to start a small business, I would say be very clear on the problem you're looking to solve, and be very clear on the customer you're targeting. Because if you have a great, if let's say you love pens, and I try to sell you a pencil, you'll never want to buy it. I need to stop selling people who want pencils. That's how I want to end this. So like be very clear on the customer and what problem you're solving for a customer. That's the biggest advice I'd give to anybody looking to start a business.
I do agree with you. And now we're going to come towards the end. Thank you, Tariq, for being here.
Absolute pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed our
I
podcast.
definitely did.
So, see you guys same day next week. Allah Hafiz.